1955. Montgomery Clift was sitting in a secret bar. Only certain people knew about it, where gay men went. Montgomery felt comfortable. Nobody recognized him. Or they did, but didn't say anything. Then someone came over. "Aren't you Montgomery Clift?" Montgomery froze, got scared. "No, wrong person," he said. The man smiled. "Don't worry, we're all safe here." But Montgomery didn't feel safe. He never did. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications, because this is the story of a man forced to hide his identity, the secret life lived in 1950s, Hollywood's ruthless world, and the truth he could never speak. Montgomery Clift was born on October 17, 1920 in Omaha, Nebraska. His real name was Edward Montgomery Clift. His mother Ethel was controlling, domineering. "You're a special child, Montgomery. You won't be like the others. You'll be perfect," she'd say. As he grew, the pressure increased. "Be flawless. Don't make mistakes. Everyone's watching you." Ethel kept Montgomery and his twin sister Roberta constantly moving. "Europe, America. You must belong to high society," she'd say. But there was no money. Ethel was trying to appear wealthy. Montgomery grew up with these lies. At 14, Montgomery got his first role on Broadway. He was talented, natural, sincere, emotional. But Ethel wanted more. Be better, be more famous, make me proud. Montgomery was tired, but he feared disappointing his mother. In the 1940s, Montgomery had a realization. He felt different. He wasn't interested in women. He was interested in men. At first, he denied it, but the feelings got stronger. Montgomery was scared. In 1940s America, homosexuality was illegal. You could be arrested. Your family could reject you. Your career could end. 1948. Montgomery came to Hollywood. He was 28. His first film was Red River with John Wayne. Wayne was tough, masculine. Montgomery was soft, sensitive, emotional. The film was successful. Montgomery became a star overnight. But 1950s Hollywood was ruthless. Studios were very powerful. There were contracts, morality clauses. You won't cause scandals. You'll live morally. You'll get married, have children. Or your career ends. Montgomery understood. He had to hide his true identity. During the day, Montgomery was a star. Red carpets, photographers, reporters, asking, "Montgomery, when are you getting married?" Montgomery would smile, "I haven't found the right person yet." A lie. Because Montgomery wasn't interested in women. But he couldn't say that. At night, Montgomery would enter his secret life. Secret bars in Santa Monica. Only certain people knew about them. Montgomery would go there, use a fake name. Everyone felt safe there. Until a police raid. In 1952, there was a bar raid. Most people were arrested. Montgomery wasn't there that night. He was lucky, but he got scared. MGM Studio called Montgomery in. "We're hearing rumors about you." The studio head said, "Are these rumors true?" Montgomery said, "No, a lie." The studio said, "Good, because if they're true, we'll destroy you." Understood? From that day on, Montgomery was more careful, but the loneliness increased. Montgomery had relationships, but all were secret. One relationship lasted long, with a young dancer named Jack. When MGM found out, they threatened. "End this relationship, or we'll end both your careers." Montgomery ended it. His heart broke. Jack moved to New York. They never saw each other again. Montgomery told friends, "I fell in love, but lost him." "Why did you let him go?" "I had no other choice." In 1950, Montgomery met Marlon Brando. The two became very close. They'd talk for hours. Some people said there's something between those two, but no evidence ever emerged. Brando never spoke about it. Montgomery didn't either. Hollywood hid everything. Photos were destroyed. Letters were burned. Whatever the truth was, Montgomery and Brando had a deep bond. And this bond gave Montgomery some comfort. But it wasn't enough. Montgomery was lonely. Living secretly was exhausting. He started drinking, then sleeping pills, painkillers, sedatives. He was losing control. 1949. Montgomery met Elizabeth Taylor on A Place in the Sunday. Elizabeth was 17. Montgomery was 29. They grew close. Elizabeth learned about Montgomery's secret life. One day, Montgomery told her, "I'm different. I'm not interested in women, but in men." Elizabeth wasn't surprised. "I know, and I don't care. You're my friend." Montgomery's eyes welled up. "You won't tell anyone?" Elizabeth said, "Never." For years, Elizabeth was Montgomery's closest friend, maybe his only true friend. Elizabeth protected Montgomery. When reporters asked, "Is there something between you and Montgomery?" Elizabeth would say, "He's my best friend, nothing more." But deep down, Elizabeth was platonically in love with Montgomery. She wanted to save him, but didn't know how. Spring 1956. Montgomery was working on Raintree County with Elizabeth, but he was under stress. The role was hard. Director Edward Dmytryk was pressuring him. Montgomery was getting tired. Evening of May 12th, 1956. Elizabeth was having a party at her house. Guests included Montgomery, Rock Hudson, Kevin McCarthy. Montgomery looked tired. As the night went on, he drank more. Whiskey, gin, vodka. Elizabeth said, "Monty, that's enough." Montgomery said, "I'm fine." Elizabeth, "Close to midnight." Montgomery said, "I'm leaving." Elizabeth said, "Stay. You can sleep at my house." Montgomery said, "No, I need to go home." Elizabeth said, "Then be careful. The road's dark." Montgomery got in his car, started driving. Mountain road, winding, dark. Montgomery was tired. He'd drunk too much, had taken pills too. His vision was blurry. A curve came up. He took it too fast, lost control. The car skidded and hit an electrical pole. Terrible noise, metal crushing, glass breaking. Montgomery hit the steering wheel. His face smashed into the steering column. His jaw broke. His nose shifted. Teeth broke. 2 teeth went down his throat. He couldn't breathe. Blood everywhere. Elizabeth heard a crash, ran outside. Kevin ran too. They looked down. A car in the canyon. Elizabeth screamed, "Oh God, Montgomery!" They ran down. Got to the car. Montgomery was inside, motionless, his face unrecognizable, blood everywhere. Elizabeth said, "Monty, can you hear me?" Montgomery moaned, trying to breathe but couldn't. Elizabeth looked in his mouth. 2 teeth had gone down his throat. She didn't panic, put her hand in, pulled the teeth out. Montgomery breathed. Kevin said, "I'm calling an ambulance." The ambulance came. Surgeons operated for 4 hours. Jaw reconstruction, nose surgery, dental implants. But his face never returned to what it was. The jaw stayed crooked. The nose shifted. Left eyelid drooped. Left side of lip was paralyzed. When Montgomery looked in the mirror, he didn't recognize himself. "This isn't me," he said. "The doctor said you'll heal." Montgomery said, "No, my old face is dead." Montgomery stayed in the hospital for 9 weeks. Elizabeth visited every day. "Monty, you're still the same Monty," she said. Montgomery said, "No, I'm not. Look at me. I'm like a monster." Elizabeth cried. "I love you, Monty." "Please don't give up," Montgomery said. "It's too late." After leaving the hospital, Montgomery returned to filming, but it was a disaster. His face was different. He had trouble saying dialogue. His mouth wouldn't close properly. The director would say, "Again, Monty," 10 times, 15 times, 20 times. Montgomery got tired. He was in pain, constant pain. Doctors prescribed morphine, strong painkillers. Montgomery took them every day, got addicted. Morphine wasn't enough. He wanted more. Sleeping pills, too. Sedatives, too. Montgomery's house had hundreds of bottles, like a pharmacy. Alcohol increased, too. He drank every day, from morning. Control was completely lost. He'd arrive late to sets. Sometimes not at all. Production companies were angry. "Monty is not 9. Uninsurable. Too risky. Some directors didn't want him. Friends were worried. Elizabeth said, "Monty, go to treatment," Montgomery said. "Treatment doesn't work." Marlon Brando said, "Monty, you're killing yourself." Montgomery said, "I know. Why don't you stop?" Montgomery said, "Because I can't. I don't want to feel the pain." "What pain?" Montgomery said, "Every pain." 1961. Montgomery acted in The Misfits with Marilyn Monroe and Clark Gable. But the set was a disaster. Marilyn was addicted, arriving late, forgetting dialogue. So was Montgomery. Gable was having heart problems. Director John Huston said, "This film is cursed." The film finished. 2 months later, Clark Gable died. Heart attack. In 1962, Marilyn Monroe died. Overdose. Montgomery said, "I'll die soon too." Between 1962 and 66, Montgomery slowly disappeared. Withdrew from social life. Didn't go to parties. Didn't see friends. Lived alone at home. Drank every day. Took pills every night. Lost weight. His face swelled. He was 45 but looked 65. Elizabeth Taylor visited occasionally. She'd tell Montgomery, "Monty, please get up, live." Montgomery would say, "Why?" Elizabeth said, "Because I love you. Because you're special." Montgomery said, "Not anymore. The old Monty died. This is just a ghost." Elizabeth cried, "No, you're still there." Montgomery said, "No, Elizabeth. I'm gone." Morning of July 23rd, 1966. Montgomery's housekeeper Lorenzo entered his room. "Mr. Clift, time to wake up." No answer. He approached. Montgomery was lying in bed, eyes open but empty. He touched him. He was cold. Lorenzo screamed. An ambulance came. Too late. Montgomery Clift was dead, 45 years old. An autopsy was performed. Official cause? Heart attack. But there were 23 medicine bottles by the bedside. Morphine, codeine, painkillers, sleeping pills, sedatives. Blood tests showed overdose, liver damage, heart damage. The doctor said this man had been dying for 10 years. His heart just stopped today. When Elizabeth Taylor heard the news, she collapsed. "I couldn't save him. That night, I saved his life by pulling out his teeth. But I couldn't save what came after. I couldn't pull out the pain inside him. Few people came to the funeral. Marlon Brando didn't come. It was too painful. Elizabeth came. She stood by the coffin for hours. Finally, you're finding peace, Monty. You don't have to hide anymore, she said. Montgomery Clift's story isn't just about a crash. It's about the price of living in secret. In the 1950s, being gay was illegal. Hollywood was even more ruthless. Studios controlled everything. Your identity, your relationships, your life. Montgomery had to lie to survive. That lie killed him from the inside. Today, Montgomery Clift is remembered as a pioneer of method acting. Marlon Brando, Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Joaquin Phoenix, they were all influenced by him. Monty taught us how to play sensitive men, they said. But his tragedy isn't forgotten. He was one of Hollywood's first stars forced to live secretly. The crash took his face. Addiction took his soul. Hollywood's pressure took his life. Montgomery Clift died at 45. But really, he died in 1956, that night of the crash. The next 10 years were just a slow death, and nobody could save him. Because he wanted to die. He couldn't hide anymore. He couldn't lie anymore. Death was an escape from the pain, from the loneliness, from the secret life. Finally, Montgomery Clift was free. But it was too late.